Well, it's that time of year. Most retailers are involved with Black Friday sales that seem to have now spread to the entire month of November. This year, I'm doing several Black Friday videos, each focused on a single vendor that I've either purchased something from this year or with whom I have an affiliate agreement. I've often both gotten review items and made purchases. The items I'm calling out here are mostly things I've reviewed or have had positive reviews from other YouTubers. I'll have affiliate links below. Purchasing through them won't impact your costs, but will provide a small commission to the channel. Let's get started by taking a look at some of Radioddity's Black Friday deals. One of the things that's gotten pretty popular in the retail business is raffles and mystery boxes, and Radioddity has a mystery box on sale right now. This particular mystery box is about $30, and they've got a couple of different versions of it. And here are some of the things that you might find in the mystery box. They guarantee that the value of the materials in the box will be more than what you've paid for, and in some cases, some of the high-value mystery boxes will be quite a bit more. So, mystery boxes are your thing. Radioddity's got a couple of those. Next, we're going to look at a couple of Radioddity radios, and several of these are going to be DMR radios. Radioddity is a good source of DMR radios, and I have several of these, and they're all really pretty good. As always, those I have will be in the channel's playlist for amateur radio, so you can have a deep dive into these should you be interested. In this case, this is the GD168 DMR radio, and it's the Radioddity branded Anytone 168, so they're all pretty much the same. But it's a 5-watt radio, it's got dual band modes, it's got an interesting set of satellite tracking commands in it where you can tell it where you are, and then it will help you find satellites if satellites is your thing. Noise reduction's a pretty big set of contacts if you want to import the DMR contact list. Right now it's about $150 plus some of these bundles, and so there's a different antenna, speaker mic, and some of the other things here. Again, I have this radio. It's a really nice little radio. And here are some of the marketing things that they have on their page. Tier 1 and Tier 2, it's got 4 power settings. You can customize the side keys, as is often the case. And it's got a pretty large battery. You can charge it from the desktop. And then it has Type-C charging and programming, so you can plug in a Type-C cable and use the DMR programming on this and get that job done without having one of those special programming cables. And so what you've got in the box is the radio, a couple of batteries, standalone antenna, a long antenna, Type-C cable, adapter, belt clip, and the user's manual. So this is the GD168. And so if you're looking to get into DMR radio, this is a pretty popular radio and one that you'd probably want to consider. The sale right now is pretty good with a normal selling price of about $199. Speaking of DMR, if you want to try to do this a little more cheaply, Radioddity's got the GD-AT10G. I have this radio as well, and I've had it for a while, so it's not a new radio by any means. And how it differs from the Anytone 878 is that this is a UHF radio only. Otherwise, it works pretty much exactly the same as the Anytone 878 series of radios. It's got an APRS function. Of course, it would be up in the UHF band, so nice color screen, and again it's got a bundle right now with some of those same things being offered for $129 versus the regular $170 price. And so, you know, it's a UHF radio. It's got some GPS functionality, a large battery, and all that kind of stuff. And so again, it's a very nice radio, much cheaper than the Anytone 878, but it's in the UHF band only. So that's the AT10G radio here from Radioddity and the flash sales that are going on now during November. Let's stick with DMR, and this is one of the old standbys from Radioddity. This has been around a while. It's got a good sale, $169 in the bundle versus $219 normally, and this is, of course, the GD88 DMR radio. One of the claims to fame for this radio is that it uses a user-developed programming suite to make programming DMR radios a little easier. It's compatible with that kind of open series of programming for the GD88 DMR radio. And of course, it's got its standard DMR programming software as well. Again, a very popular radio. It's been around for several years, but the fact that it's still a pretty good seller is a testament to the quality of the radio. So if you're looking for DMR again, the GD88 is one that you should probably be taking a peek at. New in 2025 is the DM32UV from Baofeng. This is also a DMR radio. It's scaled down a little bit in terms of memory and some of those kind of things, but it is also much less expensive. So this is a great way to jump into DMR if you don't have the budget for some of those more expensive radios. It does a fine job. I've done a review on this radio. I have this radio, and with the bundle, it's about $70 versus $90 without the bundle. So the DM32 is also an analog radio, so you can use zones and set up analog channels. You can use the zones to set up your DMR channels. The CPS for this is relatively easy to master, although if you're familiar with DMR, you know that programming DMR radios is probably the most difficult part of DMR. Once you get it done, though, the DMR can be a fun way to work, whether you're using repeaters or whether you're using a hotspot in your Radio Shack. But as we can see here, it's a 10-watt radio, so it's got a little more power. It's got an analog mode, dual band transmit, or multi-band transmit and receive. So it'll pick up channels besides just DMR, obviously. It's got GPS and digital APRS, not analog APRS, and it's got the ability to store a lot of contacts, but not the entire DMR contact list. But with setting up your talker alias in this radio and others doing the same thing, it really isn't that big a deal. And I find I don't necessarily look at the name and call sign that having the contacts in the DMR database allows for, makes that much difference to me. But in terms of price, it's going to bring the price down to being within reach for most hams who are interested in giving a shot at DMR. Some of the things that we'll look at here in the marketing art is, just a picture of the thing. It's got high powers, 4,000 channels, 250 zones. It's got a channel knob at the top. It's got the APRS that I mentioned and some of these other things, to include an AM airband receiver. So if you're interested in learning about DMR, don't have the cash, the DM32UV is one you should probably be looking at. Jumping out of DMR into just analog HTs here from Radioddity, the GT5R is one that you should consider if you really love those little UV5R radios. The GT5R came out several years ago after the FCC made a point about getting the radios in their database, and so Radioddity worked with Baofeng, made the GT5R, and this claim to fame for this little guy is that it's identical to the UV5R, except it has a clean 2-meter signal. Many of the UV5Rs have had difficulty producing a clean signal free of spurious emissions, but the GT5R is one that does. Otherwise, it's the same as a UV5R. Takes the same accessories and it works the same, and it's just one of those really popular models that have dominated the inexpensive ham HT market for many years. This one, as you can see, has got a coupon code which brings the price down to about $18. So if nothing else, getting one to throw in your go bag or keep rattling around in the console of your car is probably worthwhile. One of the recent radios from Baofeng is the UV5R Mini. I've done a review on this radio as well. It's smaller, just a little bit smaller than that GT5R that we just looked at. But what I thought was really impressive about this radio is that this is one where Baofeng took the extra time to make a clean 2-meter signal. And this is just groundbreaking in my view. I have criticized Baofeng for their dirty signals for several years doing reviews, and in this radio they have broken the code in their radio engineering and have produced a clean transmission from this radio. Plus, they've added a bunch of other cool features such as app programming, and as we work our way down here, you see that it's a dual band radio. It'll receive more than just the ham bands. 999 channels, the usual feature set in these small radios, and then the size is really amazing. It's just a very nice tiny radio. It can use this new OLA radio app that you can get on your smartphone's store to connect to the UV5R Mini. And then for you GMRS guys, it's got a GMRS version of this too called the UV5G Mini, so you can have that same really tiny radio to pop in your pocket, all the features of the UV5 Mini, but restricted to GMR and having a FCC GMRS certification. So the UV5G is one to think about if you're a GMRS guy, or the UV5R Mini if you're a ham. Notice that these come in 2 radio sets, which means these are a little less than $25 each. And so they are quite the deal and very popular right now in the marketplace. I haven't worked with this radio very much. I do have it, the UV7B, and the claim to fame for this radio is it is app programmable with Bluetooth in the radio. And so I can't speak too much in terms of signal quality or some of the other things that I normally test because I haven't done the review yet. The radio's sitting here right beside me right now, as a matter of fact. But it has a nice big screen. It's got all the usual features of a dual band analog HT. You can program it a variety of different ways. So if we go down here, you can program it via the app. It's got a multi-band receiver, so it has a wide receive band. It'll charge via USB-C, and then it'll use the walkie-talkie tool app, which is similar to the OLA app. You can get that from your app store, and then you've got a keypad, you've got zones that you can use to divide your channels up, and then it's got the ability to copy channels from other radios with that scanning capability. So the UV7B is one to think about. Again, I haven't used it much yet, but I do have it, and it looks like a really nice radio with its airband receive, NOAA receive, and the usual stuff that you would expect in a analog HT. Last in our review of some of Radioddity's specials for the Black Friday season is the GM30 Pro. Now I've got this one, and you see that it looks a lot like that UV7B. There are a couple differences, such as the up and down buttons are different, but it's got that baby blue inlay here, the same size screen. It'll connect via an app, so you can do app programming on the radio, and it's got 1,000 channels, as well as VHF and UHF and airband and FM and all that stuff that you would expect with USB-C charging. This being a GMRS radio, however, it'll only transmit on the 22 GMRS channels, plus those 8 GMRS repeater channels, plus a whole bunch of do-it-yourself GMRS channels to add the same channels with different CT-CSS or DCS codes to meet your particular need. Again, the GM30, which was one of Radioddity's first GMRS radios, is still popular. The GM30 Pro changes the form factor and some of the other aspects of the GM30, but it is a very nice GMRS radio. So that's a quick look at what we've got for sale on the Radioddity site for Black Friday for this November of 2025.